Beloved soul, welcome back to Angels Say channel, where divine insight meets divine timing. I'm so glad you're here today. I don't believe in coincidences, and neither should you, because if you found this video, there is something heaven needs you to hear. This angel says your soulmate is coming back, wishing they never let you go. And it's not random. It's not chance. It's not a fluke. It's divine orchestration, and you're being prepared for it in this very moment. Before we begin, I want to invite you to type this in the comments as a powerful act of faith. I receive. Declare it right now. Let the heavens hear your agreement. Let the angels mark your words. When you say, I receive, you're aligning with a higher purpose. You're stepping into the truth of what's being spoken over your life today. Go ahead and do that now. It's not just a comment, it's a covenant. This message is not for the crowd. It's for the chosen. You are chosen. Now take a deep breath with me. You're not watching this video by accident. You've been called here, and I want to talk to you. Yes, you, because your heart has been carrying questions. Your soul has been whispering what if, and your spirit has been longing for confirmation. That person who left, who walked away, who created distance, they've been on your mind for a reason. The connection you shared wasn't just another relationship. It was profound. It was meaningful. It was unlike anything you've experienced before. And that's why it hurt so deeply when it ended. That's why the absence feels so heavy. That's why their memory lingers in the quiet moments of your day. I want you to know that the angels have been watching. They've witnessed your tears, your confusion, your late-night thoughts when you wonder if you'll ever feel whole again. They've seen you putting on a brave face for the world while your heart silently aches for resolution. Today, I bring you a message of hope. A message of divine timing, a message that says the story isn't over yet. The angels want you to know that your soulmate is experiencing a profound awakening right now. They're realizing what they had with you. They're understanding the depth of what they walked away from. And they're wishing with every fiber of their being that they never let you go. Type, I trust, in the comments if you're ready to embrace this divine message. When you declare your trust, you're opening the pathway for miracles to unfold. You're telling the universe that you're ready to receive what's rightfully yours. This isn't about desperation or clinging to the past. This is about recognizing divine orchestration at work in your life. This is about understanding that some connections are eternal, written in the stars long before you took your first breath. Your soulmate is feeling this truth now more than ever before. What makes this reunion different is that they're coming back changed. They're not the same person who left. In your time apart, they've grown. They've faced their shadows. They've confronted the fears and insecurities that caused them to walk away. And in that process of self-discovery, your face kept appearing in their mind. Your laughter echoed in their memories. Your love continued to speak to their soul, even in absence. This isn't a fleeting emotion or a moment of loneliness driving them back. This is a profound soul recognition that they can no longer deny. The angels show me that many of you have been working on yourselves during this separation. You've been healing, growing, expanding your awareness. You've been becoming more fully who you were always meant to be. And that's beautiful. That's necessary. Because this reunion isn't about returning to what was. It's about creating something entirely new from a higher level of consciousness. Two whole individuals coming together, not from need, but from choice. Not from lack, but from abundance. The work you've been doing hasn't gone unnoticed by the divine. In fact, it's been essential to the journey. Your soulmate feels your evolution. Even from a distance, even without direct communication, they sense the shifts in your energy. They feel the way you've released resentment. They notice how you've stopped waiting and started living. And paradoxically, it's your willingness to move forward that creates the space for them to return. Not because you're trying to attract them back, but because you're aligning with your highest self. And when you do that, you become magnetic to what's truly meant for you. I need you to type, "I deserve love," in the comments right now. Claim this truth. Own it completely, without apology or hesitation, because you do deserve love. You deserve a love that doesn't walk away. You deserve a love that sees your worth and celebrates it daily. You deserve a love that matches your investment, your dedication, your capacity for devotion. And the universe has heard your silent prayers. The angels have collected your tears. The divine has been preparing this reunion since the moment of separation. Let me share what the angels are showing me about the nature of your connection. This isn't just any relationship. This is a soul contract, a divine agreement made before either of you came into physical form. You chose each other for specific growth, for particular lessons, for extraordinary love. And sometimes those soul contracts include periods of separation, not as punishment, but as preparation, not as failure, but as foundation for something far greater than what could have existed before. The space between you has been sacred ground, where both souls could expand into their fullest expression. The angels want you to know that your soulmate has been dreaming about you. Literal dreams where they wake up feeling your presence so vividly that for a moment they forget you're not beside them. These dreams aren't random. They're visitations. They're reminders. They're the soul's way of maintaining connection even when the physical reality suggests separation. Pay attention to your own dreams as well. Notice who appears, what's said, what emotions arise. The veil between worlds is thinnest when we sleep, and much communication happens in this sacred space. Your soulmate has been seeing signs that remind them of you. Perhaps it's a song that was significant to your relationship playing unexpectedly. Maybe it's overhearing a stranger say your name in a crowd. It could be visiting a place that holds memories of your time together and feeling your energy lingering there. These aren't coincidences. They're divine nudges. They're spiritual breadcrumbs, leading them back to the truth of your connection. With each sign, the certainty grows within them. With each reminder, their resistance weakens. They're beginning to surrender to what their soul has known all along, that you are their home. Type, "I am ready" in the comments if you feel this truth resonating in your spirit. Your readiness isn't about anxious anticipation, it's about peaceful alignment. It's about standing firmly in your worth while remaining open to divine timing. When you declare, "I am ready," you're not chasing or forcing. You're simply acknowledging that you've done the inner work necessary to receive what's meant for you with maturity and wisdom. The angels applaud your growth. They celebrate your evolution. They honor the person you've become through this challenging journey. The angels are showing me that your soulmate has been comparing others to you. Perhaps they've attempted other relationships in your absence. Perhaps they've tried to convince themselves that they could find what you shared with someone else. But time and again, they've discovered the uniqueness of your connection. No one laughs quite like you. No one understands them quite like you. No one challenges them to be better in the same ways you did. These realizations haven't been easy for them. In fact, they've been quite painful. but necessary. Sometimes we must experience what isn't right to fully appreciate what is. Many of you are wondering about the timing of this reunion. The angels want you to understand that divine timing isn't measured in human calendars. It's determined by readiness, by alignment, by the completion of necessary lessons. Some of you will experience this reunion very soon, within weeks or even days. For others, there are still pieces being moved into place, still growth needed on both sides. But the timing is perfect, even when it doesn't match your preferred schedule. Trust this. Release the need to control when and how. Your job isn't to manage the timeline, but to remain open to the unfolding. I see that some of you have been receiving signs of this upcoming reunion already. Perhaps you've been finding feathers in unexpected places. Maybe you've been waking up at specific times repeatedly, or you might suddenly remember moments from your relationship that you hadn't thought about in months or years. These aren't random occurrences, they're confirmations. They're the universe's way of saying, pay attention. The veil between you and your soulmate is thinning. The energy is shifting. The return is being prepared in realms you cannot yet see, but can surely feel. Type "I am worthy" in the comments to align with this powerful truth. Your worthiness isn't determined by who stays or who goes. It isn't measured by relationship status or external validation. It's your birthright. It's woven into the very fabric of your being. And as you claim this truth, as you embody it fully, you create the energetic foundation for a relationship that honors this worthiness. Your soulmate is awakening to this understanding too. They're realizing that worthiness isn't earned through perfection, but acknowledged through acceptance, both of self and other. The angels are showing me the moment your soulmate first recognized they had made a mistake in leaving. For many of them, it wasn't dramatic. It wasn't a single event that changed everything. It was quieter than that, a gradual dawning, a slow-growing realization that life without you felt incomplete, that success felt hollow without you to share it with, that challenges felt insurmountable without your perspective, your wisdom, your support. This recognition didn't come immediately after the separation. It needed time to mature, to deepen, to become undeniable. And now it has. Your soulmate has been talking about you to others, sometimes directly mentioning your name, sharing stories of your time together, other times indirectly, describing qualities they miss, experiences they cherish, without revealing who they're thinking of. But those close to them know. They see the look in their eyes when memories surface. They hear the change in their voice when your name is mentioned. These conversations aren't casual reminiscing, they're processing. They're your soulmate's way of working through their feelings, of making sense of what happened, of preparing themselves for the possibility of return. The angels want you to know that forgiveness will be essential to this reunion. Not just your forgiveness of them, but also their forgiveness of themselves. Many of your soulmates carry deep regret. They blame themselves for not seeing your worth sooner, for not fighting harder for the relationship, for allowing fear to override love. This self-judgment has been part of their journey, part of their growth. But to move forward together, they'll need to release it. They'll need to accept that mistakes were made, but that redemption is possible. That new beginnings don't require perfection, just willingness. Type "I forgive" in the comments to begin this sacred process. Forgiveness isn't about condoning hurtful actions. It's about freeing yourself from the burden of resentment. It's about creating space for new experiences rather than remaining chained to old wounds. When you declare "I forgive," you're not doing it primarily for your soulmate. You're doing it for yourself. You're choosing peace over righteousness. You're choosing possibility over punishment. And this choice reverberates through dimensions, creating ripples that touch your soulmate's consciousness even from a distance. The angels are showing me that many of your soulmates have been experiencing synchronicities related to reconciliation. Perhaps they've been receiving guidance through unexpected sources, a book that falls open to a meaningful passage, a conversation with a stranger that seems oddly relevant to your situation, a movie or song that speaks directly to their heart. About second chances, these aren't random. They're divine intervention. They're sacred nudges guiding your soulmate toward the action they need to take. The universe conspires in favor of soul reunions when the timing is right. Some of you have been feeling unusually emotional lately, perhaps crying without clear reason, maybe feeling sudden joy or anticipation without obvious cause. You might be experiencing memory flashes, revisiting moments from your relationship in vivid detail. Your energy bodies are already reconnecting. Your souls are already in communication. Before any text is sent, before any call is made, before any physical reunion occurs, the non-physical aspects of your beings are preparing the way. Honor these emotions. They're not irrational. They're preparatory. They're attunement to a frequency that's growing stronger. The angels want you to understand that this reunion will require courage from both sides. Your soulmate knows they hurt you. They know they risk rejection in returning. They know they've forfeited the right to expect immediate trust. This awareness makes their return all the more meaningful. It isn't done lightly or thoughtlessly. It's a deliberate choice made despite fear, despite pride, despite uncertainty. And you'll need courage too. Courage to open your heart again. Courage to believe that things can be different. Courage to allow growth rather than expecting repetition of past patterns. Type, "I am courageous," in the comments to align with this truth. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward despite it. It's choosing love when past experience suggests caution. It's opening yourself to possibility when logic might dictate protection. Your willingness to be courageous doesn't mean being foolish or ignoring red flags. It means approaching this reunion with eyes wide open but heart wider still. It means being willing to see who your soulmate has become rather than who they were when they left. The angels are showing me that this reunion will happen in divine order. For some of you, your soulmate will reach out directly. A message, acknowledging their mistake, a call to reconnect, an invitation to meet. For others, the reconnection will appear more coincidental, running into each other in an unexpected place, hearing about each other through mutual friends, finding yourselves at the same event. However it unfolds, it won't be forced. It will feel natural, almost inevitable, as though the universe itself has crafted the perfect moment for your paths to cross again. Your soulmate has been feeling increasingly restless in your absence. What once felt like freedom now feels like emptiness. What once seemed like independence now seems like isolation. They've been trying to fill the void you left with other pursuits, perhaps work, perhaps hobbies, perhaps other relationships. But nothing quite fits. Nothing provides the same sense of belonging, of being truly seen and understood that they experienced with you. This restlessness isn't punishment, it's guidance. It's their soul's way of saying, this isn't your path, and redirecting them toward what is. The angels want you to know that your soulmate has been thinking about the future. They've been imagining what reconciliation might look like. They've been considering what they would do differently, how they would show up more fully, how they would cherish what they once took for granted. These aren't idle fantasies. They're intentions forming. They're commitments crystallizing. They're preparation for the moment when possibility becomes reality. Your soulmate is mentally and emotionally rehearsing a reunion long before it physically manifests. Type, "I welcome change," in the comments to align with the transformation this reunion will bring, because it will be different this time. It must be. The same dynamics, the same patterns, the same communication styles that led to separation cannot sustain reunion. Both of you have changed in your time apart. Both of you have gained new perspectives, new boundaries, new understandings of yourselves and what you need in relationship. Welcoming change means being open to discovering each other anew, rather than attempting to recreate what was. The angels are showing me that many of your soulmates have been experiencing a deepening of their spiritual awareness during this separation. Perhaps they've begun meditation practices. Maybe they've explored teachings that help them understand the nature of love and connection. Some have had profound moments of clarity about their life purpose and how you fit into it. This spiritual awakening isn't separate from their journey back to you, it's integral to it. They're returning not just because they miss you, but because they understand more fully the spiritual significance of what you share. Many of you have been asking for signs that this message is truly for you. The angels want you to know that the sign is in how these words resonate in your body. Notice where you feel this message physically, perhaps warmth in your heart space, maybe tingles along your spine. Perhaps tears forming without conscious control. Your body knows truth when it hears it. Your soul recognizes its own story being told. Trust this inner knowing above external validation. The most powerful confirmation comes not from outside, but from within. That quiet voice that whispers, "Yes, this is mine." Your soulmate has been reflecting on the lessons of your separation. They've been asking themselves difficult questions. Why did they leave? What were they afraid of? What were they not ready to face within themselves? These inquiries haven't been comfortable, but they've been necessary. Growth rarely happens in comfort zones. Transformation requires honest self-assessment. And through this process, they've come to understand that the issues they thought were about the relationship were actually about themselves, their own wounds, their own fears, their own inability to receive the love you offered. Type, "I am healing," in the comments to acknowledge this powerful journey you've both been on. Healing isn't linear. It doesn't follow a predictable timeline or a clear sequence of stages. It's messy and non-linear and sometimes painful, but it's also beautiful. It's transformative. It's the process through which we become more whole, more authentic, more capable of true connection. The healing you've done in this separation hasn't been wasted time. It's been essential preparation. And your soulmate's healing journey has been equally important. Two healing paths now converging. The angels want you to know that this reunion isn't about picking up where you left off. It's about starting fresh from a new level of awareness. It's about building something that honors the growth you've both experienced rather than trying to recreate what was. This doesn't diminish what you shared before. It simply acknowledges that life is evolution, that relationships are meant to grow and change, that love deepens through challenge when we remain committed to learning rather than retreating into familiar patterns. Your history together is important, but your future isn't limited by it. Your soulmate has been experiencing moments of profound regret, times when the weight of their decision to leave feels almost unbearable, moments when they would give anything to go back and choose differently. The angels want you to know that this regret, while painful, has been purifying. It's burned away pretense. It's dissolved illusions about what matters. It's clarified values and priorities. Through the fire of regret, your soulmate has been refined. They're returning not with the same consciousness that left, but with a hard-won wisdom about what truly matters in this brief, precious life. The angels are showing me that some of you have been sensing your soulmate's energy more strongly recently. Perhaps you've been thinking of them unexpectedly. Maybe you felt as though they were in the room with you for a brief moment. You might have dreamed about them more frequently or more vividly. These aren't just random thoughts or wishful thinking. They're energy signatures. They're evidence of the thinning veil between you. As your soulmate thinks of you more consistently, as their intention to reconnect strengthens, their energy reaches across the distance and touches yours in ways your physical senses can't fully comprehend, but your soul clearly recognizes. Type, "I feel connected" in the comments to acknowledge this energetic reality. Because despite physical separation, despite lack of communication, despite the appearance of disconnection, you and your soulmate have never truly been separate. Not at the soul level. The connection has remained intact in dimensions beyond the physical. It's always been there, a golden thread binding heart to heart, soul to soul. What's changing now isn't the existence of the connection, but the mutual awareness of it. Your soulmate is awakening to what has always been true, that some bonds transcend time, space, and human misunderstanding. The angels want you to know that this reunion will happen in perfect timing, not a moment too soon, not a moment too late. Divine timing isn't about making you wait unnecessarily. It's about ensuring all elements are in proper alignment for the highest good of everyone involved. It's about allowing necessary growth to complete. It's about creating the optimal conditions for lasting reunion rather than premature reconnection that might falter under the weight of unresolved issues. Trust this timing. Surrender to it. There's wisdom in the waiting, purpose in the patience. Your soulmate has been experiencing increasing clarity about what truly matters in life. Perhaps through challenge or loss in other areas, maybe through witnessing others' relationships and seeing reflections of what they once had with you. This clarity hasn't come easily. It's been earned through contrasts, through experiences that highlight the difference between superficial connection and soul recognition. They now understand what they couldn't before, that what you shared wasn't ordinary, that it wasn't replaceable, that it wasn't something to walk away from, but something to walk toward, even through fear, even through uncertainty. The angels are showing me that some of your soulmates have been making practical changes in preparation for this reunion, even if they aren't consciously aware that's what they're doing. Perhaps they've been creating more stability in their lives, financially, professionally, residentially. Maybe they've been addressing habits or behaviors that created problems in your relationship. Some have been working with therapists or counselors to understand patterns that led to the separation. These practical steps aren't coincidental. They're alignment. They're your soulmate creating a foundation that can support reunion when it comes. Type "I am patient" in the comments to align with divine timing. Patience isn't passive waiting. It's active trust. It's the deep knowing that what's meant for you cannot miss you, that what's truly yours will return in the perfect moment. Your patience doesn't mean you've stopped living or loving in the meantime. It doesn't mean putting your life on hold. It means continuing your journey of growth and joy while maintaining a quiet confidence that the universe is orchestrating reunion in ways your human mind cannot fully comprehend, but your soul completely trusts. The angels want you to know that your soulmate has been feeling your absence more acutely as time passes, not less. What they thought might fade with distance has only intensified. What they believed might diminish with time has only grown stronger. This is the nature of true soul connection. It doesn't weaken with separation. It doesn't dissolve with circumstance. If anything, the awareness of its significance deepens as the contrast between authentic soul recognition and ordinary relationship becomes increasingly apparent. Your soulmate is feeling this truth with growing intensity. Your soulmate has been experiencing moments of almost overwhelming desire to contact you. Times when they've drafted messages they didn't send. Times when they've picked up the phone but couldn't quite make the call. Times when they've driven near places you might be but couldn't bring themselves to appear. This hesitation isn't lack of desire. It's recognition of the magnitude of what they're approaching. It's respect for the significance of reconnection. It's understanding that reaching out isn't casual, but consequential. They want to be ready. They want to be worthy. They want to be certain they can honor the reconnection properly. The angels are showing me that this reunion, when it comes, will feel both surprising and completely natural simultaneously. There will be an element of wonder, of divine orchestration, that couldn't have been planned or predicted by human means. Yet underneath that surprise will be a sense of rightness, of inevitability, of course it would happen this way. This paradoxical experience, surprise without shock, wonder without disbelief, is the hallmark of divine timing. It's the universe revealing what has been in preparation all along, at the perfect moment for recognition. Type "I am grateful" in the comments to align with this beautiful energy. Gratitude is one of the highest vibrational states we can embody. It's not just appreciation for what is or what has been, but openness to what will be. When you approach this reunion from gratitude rather than expectation, you create space for magic to unfold. You allow the connection to reveal itself in its highest form rather than constraining it to your specific vision. Your soulmate is learning this same lesson, that gratitude opens doors, that expectation keeps closed. The angels want you to know that when your soulmate returns, they won't be asking simply to go back to what was. They'll be proposing something new, a relationship built on deeper understanding, clearer communication, stronger foundations. They've been reflecting on what went wrong. They've been considering what needs to be different. They've been imagining what could be possible if both of you approach connection from wisdom rather than wounding. This isn't about erasing what happened, but about learning from it. Not about denying the separation, but about using it as catalyst for more authentic connection. Your soulmate has been experiencing a growing sense of certainty about your significance in their life. What might have begun as doubt or confusion or ambivalence has crystallized into knowing. They understand now what perhaps they couldn't before, that what you share isn't common, isn't replaceable, isn't something to discard or take lightly. This certainty hasn't come from external validation or logical reasoning. It's come from within, from soul recognition that can no longer be denied or rationalized away. It's come from the persistent truth that continues to make itself known despite all attempts to silence it. The angels are showing me that many of you will be surprised by the manner of your soulmate's return. It may not look the way you've imagined or expected. It may be more humble or more dramatic, more gradual or more sudden than you've envisioned. But the form it takes will be exactly what's needed for authentic reconnection. The how is less important than the why. And their why has transformed from fear to courage, from doubt to certainty, from self-protection to vulnerable truth. They're returning not because they need something from you, but because they recognize what you create together. Type, "I am open" in the comments to align with possibilities beyond your imagination. Being open means releasing specific expectations about how this reunion should look. It means allowing the universe to surprise you with something even more beautiful than what you could have planned. Your openness doesn't mean lowering your standards or accepting less than you deserve. It too means trusting that what unfolds will be for your highest good, even if it doesn't match the script you've written in your mind. The most beautiful reunions often come in unexpected packages. The angels want you to know that your soulmate's return isn't just about the relationship itself. It's about purpose. It's about what you're meant to create together in the world. Many twin flames and soulmates come together not just for personal fulfillment, but for collective contribution. There's something your combined energies, talents, perspectives are meant to offer that neither could manifest alone. This greater purpose has been part of the divine timing. The separation was preparation not just for deeper personal connection, but for aligned service and shared creation. Your soulmate has been feeling increasingly drawn to communication styles and relationship dynamics that reflect what you always wanted or needed from them. Perhaps they dismissed these approaches before. Perhaps they weren't ready to engage in this way during your time together. But in your absence, they've come to recognize the wisdom in what you were asking for. They've begun to understand that what seemed like your personal preference was actually the foundation for true connection. This evolution in their understanding hasn't come from external pressure, but from inner recognition of truth. The angels are showing me that some of you have been receiving guidance to focus on self-love and personal fulfillment during this separation period. This guidance isn't about forgetting your soulmate or moving on from the connection. It's about creating the energetic foundation for healthy reunion. When you're fulfilled within yourself, when you're living purposefully and joyfully, you create a magnetic field that attracts authentic connection rather than codependent attachment. Your soulmate feels this shift. They sense the difference between your energy when it was focused on their absence versus when it's centered in your presence. Type "I love myself" in the comments to affirm this essential truth. Self-love isn't selfish. It's necessary. It's the foundation upon which all other love stands. When you truly love yourself, not with ego or narcissism, but with genuine compassion and appreciation, you become capable of receiving love in its highest form. You recognize manipulation or half measures because they contrast so sharply with how you treat yourself. Your soulmate is learning this same lesson. They're discovering that self-love enables rather than prevents deep connection with another. The angels want you to know that when your soulmate returns, the conversation will be different. The communication will be clearer. The honesty will be deeper. They've been reflecting on how they expressed themselves before, on what they held back, on where they were indirect or unclear. They understand now that true intimacy requires transparency. That real connection demands vulnerability. That lasting love depends on the courage to speak difficult truths with compassion. They're preparing to meet you with this new level of communication, this deeper capacity for authentic expression. Your soulmate has been experiencing increasing dissatisfaction with superficial connections. What might have distracted them temporarily no longer holds their attention. What might have seemed sufficient in your absence now feels empty in comparison to what they remember sharing with you. This growing discontent isn't negative. It's clarifying. It's their inner wisdom guiding them back to substance, back to depth, back to meaningful connection. They're no longer willing to settle for less than what they know is possible, because they've experienced it with you. The angels are showing me that the energy between you and your soulmate has been purifying during this separation. What was once clouded by misunderstanding, ego, fear, or external circumstance has been clarifying in the silence. Like water that settles when undisturbed, revealing its true clarity, the connection between you has been revealing its essential nature without the distortion of day-to-day difficulties or miscommunications. This purification has been happening regardless of physical contact or conscious awareness. It's a soul-level process, preparing the way for physical reunion. Type "I am clear" in the comments to align with this purified energy. Clarity doesn't mean having all the answers or knowing exactly how things will unfold. It means seeing what's real beneath what's apparent. It means recognizing truth beyond circumstance. It means understanding the essence of your connection beyond the specific forms it has taken. Your soulmate is experiencing this same clarification process. They're seeing with new eyes. They're understanding with new depth. They're recognizing what has always been true beneath the changing surface of events and emotions. The angels want you to know that your soulmate's return isn't the end of a journey, but the beginning of a new one. It's not the final chapter, but the opening of a new book. When they come back, it won't be to resume where you left off, but to start fresh with the wisdom you've both gained, the growth you've both experienced, the clarity you've both achieved. This perspective matters. It means approaching reunion not with nostalgia for what was, but with excitement for what can be. Not with expectation of familiarity, but with openness to discovery. Not with fear of repeating the past, but with intention to create something entirely new. As we close this divine message, I invite you to release attachment to specific outcomes while maintaining faith in divine orchestration. Your soulmate is coming back. They're wishing they never let you go. This is truth. But how it unfolds, when it manifests, what form it takes, these details are best left to divine wisdom rather than human planning. Your task isn't to make it happen, but to allow it. Not to force, but to receive. Not to control, but to trust. Type "I trust divine timing" in the comments as your final declaration of faith in this process that's already underway, already in motion, already bringing your soulmate back to where they belong, with you in divine and perfect timing. Thank you for watching.